in Memphis, Tennessee. Elon Musk's artificial intelligence company, xAI, opened a massive data center known as Colosus last year. The facility is next to historically black neighborhoods and runs on 35 methane gas-powered turbine generators, which emit significant amounts of nitrogen oxide and other toxic chemicals.
Elon Musk is polluting the air of Tennesseans. He is continuing and perpetuating environmental racism and environmental degradation in our community. This project is an application for 15 gas turbines, but we know today that they have 35 turbines. And yesterday, a report showed 33 of those in operation, despite the fact that the mayor of Memphis said only 15 of them were being used, because that's what xAI had told him. They are liars. They are abusing our community and they're exploiting us. And it's having horrible ramifications. 17.2 tons of formaldehyde being sprayed into our air because of these gas turbines. Over 130 tons of nitrogen oxide, making them a larger polluter than the Memphis International Airport is happening right now in our community. And elected officials and appointed officials have a responsibility to the people who they were elected and appointed to serve, not to the billionaires and the oligarchs who are misusing and abusing their authority to hurt
the city's mayor.
It represents a tremendous opportunity, an opportunity for us to take our economy to the next level.
xAI says it will create $100 million in revenue and hundreds of jobs. But the digital future needs power, lots of it. These are the gas turbines fueling the supercomputer they call Colosus. They emit hazardous pollutants like formaldehyde and nitrogen oxides, according to the manufacturer.
Just over this fence, you can see and hear the turbines churning 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Without them, the data center does not function. What's not in dispute is the fact that they are polluting the air. What people don't know is how much of that pollution is reaching nearby communities.
Easter Knox lives 2 miles away.
You smelled it?
Yes, Lord.
Right away?
I sure did. Well, after they got situated, I started smelling it.
Knox lives in Boxtown, a mostly black, low-income neighborhood in South Memphis.
The health department, they need to be ashamed.
Where industry has taken a toll for generations.
There's a lot of people out here who got medical problems like breathing issues.
Cancer risks here are 4 times higher than the national average. Cancer killed her father and other relatives, Knox tells us. Life expectancy here is 9 years less than the national average. Elon Musk's company is not to blame for those numbers, but that legacy and those turbines have triggered a backlash against xAI.
Hello, everyone.
A recent health department hearing turned into a shouting match. An executive from xAI ducking out a side door. The mayor says the city is hoping to start testing the air in the next 2 months.
Right now, there are people in that community that feel like they have been railroaded by xAI, that they weren't a part of the conversation when it was approved, and now they're bearing the brunt of its existence.
Well, I think it's important for us to have direct dialogue. I take their concerns deeply serious.
Among their concerns, the company is running the turbines without a permit. But the health department says that's okay for the first year. And after city officials said there were 15 turbines, environmental advocates released this thermal image. They say it shows twice that many active.
As soon as we saw the image, we called like, hey, we had a conversation. What's happening with these additional ones?
So they're not using those?
No, they're in idle mode in case they are needed.
xAI declined to be interviewed, but tells NBC News it is using pollution minimizing technology and working with public officials to stop relying on the turbines by the end of this year. xAI has also pledged to build a water treatment facility for the city.
Elected officials are working for and conspiring with industry in order to draw profits.
Community organizer Keyshawn Pearson has lived in South Memphis most of his life. He says he is skeptical xAI will create hundreds of jobs and doubts the mayor's promise that its tax dollars will be directed to improve these neighborhoods.
We don't want money in exchange for our lungs or in exchange for our lives. We want clean air. We want clean water, clean soil, just like everybody else.
xAI is already building a second supercomputer nearby, even bigger, that will need even more power, raising new questions and more anger among some residents, Lester.
Okay, Stephanie, thank you.
Hey everybody, it's Tennessee State Rep Justin J. Pearson here, and today we got some shocking news from the Southern Environmental Law Center that xAI, Elon Musk company, is operating 35 gas turbines in Southwest Memphis, in the neighborhood where myself and my entire family lives. This is horrific news. They are increasing the amount of nitrogen dioxide, which causes smog and continues to harm people with asthma by potentially 30 to 60%. In addition to that, all of these gas turbines could emit up to 17 tons of formaldehyde into the air, and they haven't gotten a single permit. No piece of paper from anybody giving them consent or permission to pollute and to hurt our air quality for their profits. So I'm asking each of you who are able to please come this Saturday for an emergency environmental justice town hall meeting. We're having it at Mount Pisgah, 3636 Weaver Road, right in 38109. And please submit your public comments opposing Elon Musk xAI permitting to stop the pollution and to stop the environmental racism and environmental degradation. Environmental justice and the right to clean air is a human right, and we have to defend it, we have to protect it, and we have to fight for it. I'm in this fight for the long haul, and I'm asking for each and every one of you to be too. Thanks so much, and God bless.
Company XAI to purchase the building?
Electrolux was a company that scammed the city of Memphis. Electrolux came to our city and promised jobs, promised prosperity, similar to what XAI is doing, and then they left. They left without fulfilling the promise of jobs. They left without fulfilling the tax recommendations and the taxes that they said that they would provide that would elevate our community. They made promises and then they left and abandoned us. This is the same process that we've seen Elon Musk do in Texas as well as California. He will create a plan and then he will leave. And so what we're seeing right now is that this continual process is continuing to happen with a new tenant. Electrolux provided him the facility and he is scamming the city of Memphis while putting out pollution.
Keyshawn, I want to introduce your brother. This is an interesting inside-outside strategy. Tennessee Democratic State Representative Justin J. Pearson of Memphis, well known to people around the country. The two Justins, the representatives who were forced out of the legislature, then reelected back in by their communities. Justin J. Pearson representing Memphis. Justin, thank you so much for being with us, State Representative. If you can talk about your opposition to Elon Musk and XAI, very interesting that your fellow Republicans who have a supermajority in the Tennessee State House recently passed a resolution recognizing Musk as, quote, a brilliant businessman who's saving lives and helping to restore America as a valuable ally of Donald J. Trump. Talk about your concerns about what this AI data center will mean.
Yeah, look, my concern is that Elon Musk is buying and paying for access to pollute, harm, and hurt our community. Unfortunately, our mayors and elected officials and appointed officials, Mayor Lee Harris, Mayor Paul Young, Shelby County Health Director Michelle Taylor, and the Greater Memphis Chamber all decided that the community of 38109, where I live, could be on the auction block for Elon Musk to buy. And it is a horrible, horrendous project that is having serious ramifications for our community. The reason that in legislation that my colleagues passed praising Elon Musk, I put several amendments, was to tell the truth, that Elon Musk is polluting the air of Tennesseans. He is continuing and perpetuating environmental racism and environmental degradation in our community. This project is an application for 15 gas turbines, but we know today that they have 35 turbines. And yesterday, a report showed 33 of those in operation, despite the fact that the mayor of Memphis said only 15 of them were being used because that's what XAI had told him. They are liars. They are abusing our community and they're exploiting us. And it's having horrible ramifications. 17.2 tons of formaldehyde being sprayed into our air because of these gas turbines. Over 130 tons of nitrogen oxide, making them a larger polluter than the Memphis International Airport is happening right now in our community. And elected officials and appointed officials have a responsibility to the people who they were elected and appointed to serve, not to the billionaires and the oligarchs who are misusing and abusing their authority to hurt our community.
Can you talk about Memphis Mayor Paul Young after public pressure mounted, offering to earmark a portion of the roughly $15 million in tax proceeds from XAI's operation?
Yeah, I mean, Mayor Young's idea that he's going to give us tax money in place of our health and our lives is completely asinine, and it's an insult to the people in this community. But it isn't just Mayor Young who is problematic. It's Mayor Lee Harris of Shelby County, who has said nothing about this project since it started, and he was all praise and all happy-go-lucky about it. And now we can't find him. He's entirely invisible, despite the fact that the health department is under his purview. And so he hasn't come out with a statement saying that we need to protect our air, we need to protect our citizens, we need to protect our community. And that is giving license to Elon Musk and to XAI that they.
How is it good for Memphis if it continues to pollute our air? How is it good for Memphis when the community is locked out? And who would believe something so absurd? I have an idea, but it might not be popular. False prophets can only feed false solutions to a fearful people. Musk was the green future darling at a point in time, screaming about sustainability and clean energy from the rooftops. Now we know that was only corporate greenwashing masquerading as genius. They don't talk about reducing car travel and using public transportation when we know it will benefit the planet. They don't fuel their facilities with solar power or clean energy when we know that's the best option. They don't believe in a future where everyone has clean air, clean water, and clean soil. They believe in feeding people false solutions like traveling to space on their rockets, solving problems on their AI computers, and purchasing things with their currency. This is ecosystem domination through investments in emerging markets, nothing more. A colonizer who land grabs at every opportunity, an imperialist who builds infrastructure in exchange for infinite ownership. This is who we are up against. We must see the truth and tell the truth if we want to be protected from false hope and false promise.
Memphians literally can't breathe because of the amount of toxins that are being emitted into our atmosphere. And yes, I'm talking about Elon's musty supercomputer, which is located here in Memphis, particularly in the South Memphis Boxtown neighborhood. Yes, I'm talking about that supercomputer. XAI first got placed in Memphis, Elon's company was violating the Clean Air Act. I want you to know that is one of the reasons why his company Doge was going after the EPA, so they would not have to adhere to governmental regulation. Supercomputers placement in Memphis is not going to be something that is isolated to just the community of Boxtown or South Memphis, which already has 4 times the cancer rate, and Memphis as a whole has the highest pediatric hospitalizations for asthma in the state of Tennessee. But I digress. This is going to be something that is going to affect the whole city and even surrounding counties. So I got a message from a lady that lives in the Raleigh-Bartlett area, and she said that she is complaining, saying that it's hard for her to breathe now. Like the last couple of months, it has been extremely hard for her to breathe. So I want you to think about that. Bartlett, you're not safe. Germantown isn't safe. All of these surrounding suburbs are not safe. And we could even say the surrounding counties and the surrounding cities. And I'm going to tell you why. It's not just going to affect Shelby County, Memphis. This is going to affect surrounding counties and the surrounding cities. I talked to a parent whose husband works in West Memphis, and he says that the fumes are so strong that they can smell it over the bridge. This was a literal conversation that I had today. Let me just tell the city of Memphis that your city has been sold to the highest bidder. Greatest Memphis Chamber is bringing all of this bullshit into the city. It's not even Mayor Paul Young. I do think that he is weak leadership and he is lining his own pockets. But it is Greater Memphis Chamber who is approving all of this. Then they get the mayor to sign off on it. Then the health department, and all of this bullshit just gets put in the city. If you don't believe me, listen to Ted Townsend talk about the new data center that they are bringing here that is going to pollute the city even more. Oh yeah, and it's a cryptocurrency mining facility that's coming here also that's going to pollute the city. We have no benefits for these things. These jobs are not going to Memphians, but even if they were, what is a job in comparison to your health? When you have people that are getting cancer at an alarming rate, is it really worth a job? I want you to ask yourself that, the city of Memphis. Because everybody doesn't know, the Greater Memphis Chamber is the one that signed NDAs saying that they would not reveal what was in those contracts. Other officials have also MLG&W signed NDAs, which is why your bill is going up. So not only is this affecting your air, it's going to affect your water too, but I'm not going to go into that. It's also going to affect our grid system because of the amount of power that this thing is requiring. And just know that it increases in power ever so often. So every few months, it's using more power. It's so much power that it could power as many houses that are in Memphis. That's how much power this thing is using.
XAI executives have refused to hold a single town hall in Boxtown or Whitehaven, 2 communities where XAI's base of operations will serve, and 2 communities full of churchgoers, business owners, working people, children, and young people who have had their health compromised by industrial pollution. And as XAI continues to operate 15 polluting turbines to power their data center, this body has the ability to do something monumental. Folks, when the richest man in the world, who has laid off government workers who live and work in Shelby County, who has worked to dismantle the EPA by firing the Inspector General and weakening emission standards, and who has come here to boost his profit margins at the expense of our neighbors, comes here to do business, party lines don't matter anymore. What matters is that we recognize the gravity of what's going on at this very moment. And that's the fact that a rogue billionaire is trying to exploit us, just as he's exploited Fremont, California, and Brownsville, Texas, and our nation's capital. But again, I implore you to demonstrate the courage that others have failed to show at this very point in time, to ensure your constituents are afforded the accountability, the justice, and transparency that they so desperately deserve. This is the bare minimum that we can do at this point, is bringing our own health department to study and relay data to concerned residents who've been in the middle of an environmental justice crisis for years, who have sat around that kitchen table wondering why their mom or dad or brother or sister has developed blood cancer that they had no family history of, who have wondered when is the slow lynching of their neighbors going to come to an end in a city that served as the heart of the civil rights movement. Do the right thing and vote with.
Ms. Thomas.
Hello, my name is Taylor Marie Thomas, and I am here on behalf of the citizens that feel betrayed by their government. This XAI predicament proves that our elected officials don't have the best interests of their constituents at heart. We as citizens deserve transparency in this process. I wonder how transparent can one be knowing that MLG&W, Chamber of Commerce, and others have signed NDAs. There has been so much community pushback, yet the business dealings have been moving at a rapid pace, disregarding the health concerns of Boxtown, South Memphis, Memphis as a whole, and the surrounding areas. Multiple non-media outlets have covered the story, including an article written yesterday by Forbes, which read, Elon Musk installs dirty and quick turbines to power XAI's Memphis data center. The article states that these types of turbines are usually used during emergencies. So what is Memphis gaining? Are we just gaining pollution? Elon Musk and his businesses have a reputation of exploiting marginalized communities with little to no economic gain. Last year, it was reported that Tesla avoided paying federal taxes despite making $2.3 billion. Already, he is proven not to be trustworthy and being a burden on the community by being extremely late on his utility bills. How can a company that is intentionally not paying their bills be making a positive impact on our city? I want the audience to know that XAI received 3 cutoff notices. Most Memphians would not receive such grace. I wrap up by saying, make decisions that will positively affect our city. I've been in Memphis my whole life, and I want the best for Memphis.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas. Appreciate your comments. Kimberly Davis.
If you have to start wearing a gas mask to go outside, just remember that capitalism has been unbridled. We are seeing profits. Actually, Elon Musk will be seeing profits as the rest of the population suffers. As America took democracy for granted, we also took environmental protections for granted, clean air for granted, clean water for granted. EPA launches biggest deregulatory action in U.S. history under this Trump administration. What's happening at Boxtown, Tennessee is a precursor of things to come. It is only going to get worse. Elon Musk's DOGE specifically targeted those agencies investigating him. He is now without any regulations, without any checks and balances. And if you look at what his companies were doing in Texas and getting rid of all of that toxic sludge that they were just dumping into the water, yeah, there's going to be a lot more of that. And do you think, just look at that, do you think he's going to do anything about it? No, absolutely not. We need capitalism just going. So when you're breathing from a gas mask outside, just remember that capitalism is unbridled, that we are watching these companies and these oligarchs make more money than they've ever made before. That is all that matters. That is all that matters. And like I've said in previous videos, it's not about saving the planet. The planet will still be here. It's been here for 4.5 billion years. Humans have only been here for 300,000. It was about making the environment habitable for humans and other species. The planet will still be here, and we are going to find out that it knows how to deal with problems like us as we completely disregard any respect for our environment in the pursuit of profits. So when you can't breathe clean air, just shove a dollar bill up your nose. Just shove a dollar bill in your mouth if you're hungry the next time, okay? Okay? See how long that satisfies you, because greatness is here.
Elon Musk just built this damn supercomputer in Memphis, right, y'all? It took him 19 damn days to build this supercomputer. It's called XAI. Now, it's called the Tesla Gigafactory Supercomputer Cluster, okay, y'all? This man stated the reason why he built this computer in Memphis, Tennessee, in a predominantly black neighborhood, 90% black neighborhood, which is the same neighborhood that actually had this Bihalia pipeline project in the southwest Memphis area of Memphis, Tennessee, okay, y'all? He stated that it's because of it being the heart of Egypt, okay, y'all? This computer has over 100,000 GPUs. Fucking insane, right? Not only is this computer been made in, you know what I'm saying, in 19 days, it should have took them 4 years to build this fucking computer, okay, y'all? So imagine how much money this man invested into doing this shit. What he's doing is killing people. That's what the fuck he's doing. This computer has let off so much radiation into their water that their water has been contaminated, and it's causing them to honestly be sick. It's literally causing them to be fucking sick, okay, y'all? Elon Musk has been discussing humanoid robots. He has discussed automod vehicles. Like, man, y'all, the rates of asthma and respiratory issues that's happening in Memphis, Tennessee due to this shit is insane. And no one's discussing that part. Elon Musk's 130 days is going to be up in June. He has to get the fuck out of that office. He really does. And he has been a little bit too silent. I haven't been hearing that much about this man in a little while, but y'all have to literally speak on this man and the shit that he's out here doing before he leaves this fucking office. Literally. Why are y'all building this fucking computer? What's the purpose for this shit? Seeing Bill Gates state that basically humans won't be needed in the next couple of years, that robots are going to take over, for what? For what? Are y'all serious, bro? Consciousness is life. If y'all not realizing that consciousness is life and that these people are noticing that the sun is getting fucking hot and that they're dying off, they're going to take the consciousness we see in these movies. They're not making these movies for a reason. Television that word is for a reason. When you're watching this shit and you're putting your perception onto this shit and you're literally making your focus this shit, it becomes a reality. So we have to leave this shit alone. Leave the technology alone. These phones is one little small piece. Okay, y'all? Elon Musk is out here fucking up them people's health in Memphis, Tennessee. Okay, y'all? In a predominantly black neighborhood, like I stated before. He calls the XAI. This AI shit, y'all, is getting scary. It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. When we have other nations, other countries that's really out here using their technology to do different shit. They're using their technology to do way different things. You get what I'm saying? But you have a fucking these American fucking billionaires. He's not even a fucking American. And he's came to our country and he's built a goddamn supercomputer in Memphis and no one's saying shit. And the one who are saying shit, they're being silenced. They even stated that for a normal health department, the health department stated that basically it's abnormal. They call it a code orange, okay, y'all, which means the ozone alerts, meaning ozone levels have exceeded the Environmental Protection Agency safety standards and sensitive groups like adults with children and children respiratory issues, okay, y'all? Like I said, Elon Musk's 130 days going to be up by June. And he has made sure that since he's got into this motherfucking office that he's done some damage. He's done some damage. But Memphis, I'm speaking up for y'all. I hear y'all, bro. I'm paying attention. I'm paying lots and lots of fucking attention. And this XAI shit has to be shut down. They've contaminated their water. They're contaminating the fucking neighborhoods. And why does it always have to happen to our neighborhoods, though? Why does it always have to happen to the neighborhoods where the predominantly melanated beings are at? Why are y'all always experimenting on? I'll tell you why. And because the United States has mostly us in the United States. It doesn't have that much. It doesn't have that much of this. The sun doesn't affect us as much as it's affecting this. So what y'all need to do is pay the fuck attention. Open y'all eyes. All of this stepping and riding and horse, all of that shit. We can't horsetail play and all of this flag, all of that. We can't do that shit much longer, okay, y'all? We're going to fight for our fucking rights to survive. If we're going to be in this realm, we're going to have to do it the right fucking way and say, fuck these people, G, and literally get out here and speak. Do something. Say something. So all of them that be out here, oh, it's not my job. What I'm going to be able to do about it? Start off with you using your motherfucking brain. How about that? Using your brain.
Austin is a neighborhood located in Memphis, Tennessee, and I need more people to be aware and bring awareness to this situation. Elon Musk has started up an AI project. It's called XAI, and he has the largest AI supercomputer called Colosus located in this low-income neighborhood. This neighborhood is 90% Black, 90%. The problem is that this AI supercomputer is contaminating the water with radiation, and it is also letting out nitrogen oxide. Nitrogen oxide causes severe respiratory distress on your respiratory system. Residents in Boxton, Memphis, Tennessee are stating that they are having problems breathing. Most mornings when they come out, it smells like gas. And this is just one of the startup projects. And you're not going to see this covered by major news outlets. If you search it right now, you're going to see more lower named news outlets covering this story. This is going to be the start of something where he's strategically placing these supercomputers in low-income neighborhoods. And I said this the other day ago when I stated, y'all have to watch what y'all say on here and how you're thinking about, oh, we want to get rid of a certain demographic of Black people. These people haven't done anything to anyone. And yet and still they are suffering. This is causing severe asthma attacks, severe respiratory distress. The list goes on. Within a few months, their water supply will be contaminated and it will not be drinkable. And even the way the news is covering it, they're saying that, oh, the neighborhood is protesting the benefits of this super colossal AI computer system. There isn't any benefits when this is slowly but surely killing the residents in Boxton, Memphis, Tennessee. And unfortunately, they plan on putting more of these supercomputers, these AI supercomputers, these turbine computers into more low-income neighborhoods.
If Elon's not a racist, why did he bring his AI company to a predominantly Black town in Tennessee and make no effort on making sure that those residents didn't suffer from the smog that his company is putting out? And it's not just him. Donald Trump has cut and slashed tons of EPA requirements for all of these businesses, and Elon just so happens to be profiting off of it. The residents of this town, which just so happens to be a predominantly Black town that has some poorer residents in it, have been choking on the formaldehyde that this facility has been releasing. There's actual smog clouds in this town, and he does not give one fuck about these residents or to help them. There's a woman in this town named Isabel Whitaker, and she went to the news to tell them about how this has been affecting her 12-year-old son that usually has seasonal allergies, but now has a complete lung condition from his autoimmune diseases because of the smog that's in this town. Her son is so bad off because of the smog, because of Elon's facility, that he has had rounds and rounds and rounds of steroids, nebulizers, and his cough was so bad he was gasping for air, and he still continues to do so because Elon and the government won't do anything about these regulations, or the lack thereof.
Y'all remember that battle and victory in Southwest Memphis against the Byhalia pipeline, right? A few years ago. Well, unfortunately, that same community is being targeted again for more polluting industries. Elon Musk has rushed the construction of a supercomputer in Boxtown that is currently running on gas turbines that do not have permits and are polluting their air. So just like with that pipeline, they need all hands on deck, whether you're in Memphis or not, to take action. Number one, please email the Shelby County Commissioners to urge them to pass the resolution requiring the health department to host community meetings. All of this has happened without any community input. Number two, call Mayor Lee Harris and ask him to act now and instruct the Shelby County Health Department to deny the permits they applied for to operate these methane gas turbines. And number three, wherever you are, join phone banks to help the folks on the ground spread the word to their neighbors about what's going on and activate them to mobilize against Elon Musk and his polluting industry.
Hey, how you doing? Come here. Hey, y'all building the supercomputer? Y'all building the supercomputer over here?
No comprende mi inglés. No comprende inglés. No. Yeah.
You can keep saying no. You scared?
Huh?
You scared? Where y'all about that?
No comprende inglés. No hablo inglés.
Ni habla inglés.
Ni no hablo inglés. Hablo español.
Cuando construction on this.
Huh?
Construction. What y'all building? What y'all building here? Cuando. I'm really translated. How long will you stay right there? Because I got some questions for you. I got to translate. English and Spanish. What? And let me make sure that my volume turned up so you can hear it.
No, es de grande de bypass.
Okay.
Mi es labor. Mi es labor de juntar basura. Es mi es labor.
Okay, let me ask you something else. You don't know? Okay. See, I knew you knew English. You just said you don't know. Okay. Who over here? You got some black people working over here?
Crisis, baby. Crisis.
Yeah. Hi, over there. Hi, honey. Gorgeous!
So I was asked to explain some of the protests that are happening around North Mississippi and Memphis, and I'll say that they do involve Elon Musk, but nothing with cars and nothing with Doge. So right now the entire South is getting a lot of attention for AI data centers. These things are huge, they suck up a ton of resources, and so the ideal place to put them is rural areas. Mississippi is currently building at least two. There's one that's being built over in Louisiana by Meta, and Elon Musk already has one in operation around Memphis. The problem with that one is it's not in a rural area, and the city just approved plans to expand it. Now, from a business perspective, that might sound like an attractive idea, but consider the folks that have to live around it. Elon Musk's company, XAI, already contributes to a significant amount of pollution in that area already. Expand that, and the pollution in this predominantly black neighborhood goes up exponentially. And this particular type of pollution is fairly dangerous. We are talking everything from lung problems to cancer clusters. There's also an issue of infrastructure. Now, Memphis, like a lot of cities in the South, has an infrastructure that's deteriorating. And the extreme pull that an AI center might put on water and electricity, that might just tip the scales in a bad way. But it's not just the expansion that the folks in Memphis are upset about. It's what they call the complete lack of transparency from the city in approving the project. In other words, they felt completely blindsided by this, and they felt that as a community, they didn't have a chance to voice their objections. And I can imagine how they feel. I mean, imagine the hullabaloo that we had here when they were trying to put landfills into different counties around Mississippi. Imagine that they had just gone ahead with it, put it right next to your neighborhood, and you never got a say. It's a fight that we're seeing a lot more lately, and it's one that I see happening a whole lot more in the future. This particular issue we'll probably see a lot because the AI industry is growing very quickly. And it ultimately boils down to folks with money and folks with power making decisions that benefit them without any thought as to the people who might get hurt in the process.
Gonna call me a conspiracy theorist, y'all gonna call me a loony bin, and that's okay, I'll take that. I'll eat that one. But I know what's going on. The supercomputer that's being built in Memphis, that shit is only here because the Mississippi River is right there. And a lot of the hubs in Memphis, the FedEx hub is here. The Nike hub is here. A lot of warehouses are in Memphis. That's why y'all building that shit here. But in the process, you're choking out the residents. Every time I go outside, people coughing. Ooh, it's a tickle in my throat. Ooh, it must be allergy season. I've never had allergies a goddamn day in my life. My eczema usually only lasts about a week out of the entire year. Why has this eczema been on me for 3 months? The air is fucked up and the water is too. On top of that, you are gentrifying the parts of the city that you deem to be desirable, but the parts of the city that are densely populated with black people, you're leaving that to shit. On top of that, Claiborne Temple burned down mysteriously. I don't believe that for a goddamn second. But what I do believe is that hell is going to be busting at the brim with politicians. Y'all are sick. And you also know that the cost of living being lower here means that the pay rate of all jobs across all sectors is lower in Memphis. So you know that people can't just up and leave and pack their bags and get the hell out. You know that. You know we have to stay here. So either you're going to kill us off or you're going to force us out with no severance. On top of that, he talking about some Patel gonna say, well, Memphis is homicide capital, so we're just going to send 1,500 FBI agents to Memphis. Y'all, I genuinely feel like eventually this entire city is going to be locked down under martial law, and we're not going to have no choice but to either conform to what the fuck is going on, or we're going to have to get the hell out. That's what I think. And if you're not connecting the dots like that and you think I'm crazy and I'm just running my mouth and, oh, she just a girl that don't know what she's talking about. She just a DEI. That's fine. But you green as spring grass if you believe that shit.